Friends Select School, the only all-gender pre-K to 12 Quaker school in Center City, supports WHYY. Friends Select's location at 17th and the Parkway means students and educators often extend learning into Philadelphia's amazing spaces. With the city as a classroom, students see themselves as participants in the complex fabric of everyday life in Philadelphia. An open house for pre-K to 12th grade is on Tuesday, April 14th. Registration at friends-select.org/admission.
The Museum of the American Revolution supports WHYY. From March 28th through April 12th, visitors can march into spring break and explore what life was like during the Revolutionary War. Special spring break programming includes live, first-person performances, as well as hands-on activities for children in Revolution Place, the museum's Discovery Center. Guests can also experience the Declaration's Journey, the museum's special exhibition. Learn more at amrevmuseum.org.
Just about 10 minutes to go before we get to the bottom of the hour here at WHYY. Matt Gillen with you on a Wednesday afternoon. Very glad that you are spending part of it with us here at WHYY. A few more minutes of All Things Considered to go. Then once we get to 6:30, the bottom of the hour means it will be time for Marketplace. Absolutely gorgeous afternoon, but changes are afoot right now. 79 degrees in Center City, Philadelphia, downtown at 75. Princeton at 72. We have clear skies over Philly, but by about 10 o'clock or so, clouds are going to be rolling in. Clouds that could bring some stormy conditions, some rain, some thunder and lightning even. Those the possible precipitation lasts throughout the night. Tomorrow we are cooler with cloudy skies expected on Thursday and highs just barely cracking 60.
Support for NPR comes from this station. And from Progressive Insurance, now hiring for virtual and hybrid employment, offering opportunities for professional development and career progression. Position details can be found at careers.progressive.com. From Odoo, providing tools for businesses across industries into one fully integrated platform. Whatever a business needs, Odoo is committed to providing it. Learn more at odoo.com. And from the Doris Duke Foundation.
From NPR News, this is All Things Considered. I'm Juana Summers.
And I'm Scott Detrow. President Trump has repeatedly threatened to destroy civilian infrastructure across Iran if the country doesn't come to the negotiating table, including the country's desalination plants, vital for drinking water in the arid Gulf. This week, Kuwaiti authorities said Iran had attacked one of their desalination plants. Deliberately attacking civilian infrastructure is a war crime under international law. So how can allegations of war crimes fly by without accountability? Gabor Rona is going to tackle this big question with us. He directs the Law and Armed Conflict Project at Cardozo Law School and previously was a legal advisor to the Red Cross. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I want to start with this. Let's hear something from White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, who was asked about the president's comments, and here's what she said.
Of course, this administration and the United States Armed Forces will always act within the confines of the law. But with respect to achieving the full objectives of Operation Epic Fury, President Trump is going to move forward unabated.
That's what the press secretary said. The Pentagon has repeatedly said the United States does not deliberately target civilians, and yet the president is talking about attacking a desalination plant. Would that be a war crime?
Absolutely, Scott. Both under international law and U.S. law, we have a War Crimes Act that prohibits precisely this kind of thing. It would also be a violation of laws against terrorism. It's prohibited to engage in attacks in armed conflict where the primary purpose is to spread terror among the civilian population. If you're targeting a desalination plant, then that would be an act of terrorism.
Help us understand a little bit more, just because I think you cannot over-explain this enough, right? Like, here's an example. In the early days of the war, it seems like the United States accidentally bombed a girls' school. What is the difference between something like that and deliberately attacking civilian infrastructure like a desalination plant?
So the difference is that even though one might have been mistaken and the other intentional, under U.S. law, both intentional and mistaken attacks that aren't pursuant to due diligence can be war crimes.
So U.S. law is clear-cut on this. International law norms seems to be clear-cut on this. Is that a fair way to understand this?
I think that's right.
Given that, what do you make of the fact that both sides in this war have been so blatant and straightforward about targeting and attacking civilian infrastructure like this?
One of the things that's well settled in international law is that a violation by one side does not justify a violation on the other side. The moral reason why the U.S. should not follow Iran's lead is simply, do we want to determine our moral standing according to the standards of those that routinely violate international law?
I want to play another clip of a White House official for you. This is something that top advisor Stephen Miller said to CNN earlier this year. It's a comment I have thought a lot about in a lot of contexts. Here, he was talking about the U.S. military seizing Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro.
You can talk all you want about international niceties and everything else, but we live in a world, in the real world, Jake, that is governed by strength, that is governed by force, that is governed by power.
I believe Miller was also talking about, Greenland and whether the U.S. was going to move to seize Greenland in that interview. But the broader point he was making was the United States is the most powerful country in the world, and if it wants to do something, nobody can stop it. What do you make of that?
Well, at one point Germany was the most powerful country in the world. And as a result of Germany's aggressive conduct, there was a war. And as a result of that war, there were war crime tribunals. And at Nuremberg, German war criminals were tried fairly. Many were found guilty. Some received long prison sentences. Others were executed. Similarly for war criminals in the Far East after the Second World War. Bottom line, Stephen Miller doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't understand that the United States is merely one cog, albeit a very powerful cog, but still one cog throughout a long legal history that states have worked hard and for many years to establish, to prevent and to punish war crimes. The United States cannot make them go away. I think it is, first of all, false, and second of all, very dangerous for Americans' own interests to claim that the only thing that holds us back is the limits of our own power.